Good afternoon, good afternoon. Check, Fresh God. Tell me how the sound stay. No, I'm not muted, Fresh. I'm muted. I'm not mute, Fresh. You sure? Good afternoon, Fresh God. Tell me how it stay. Alright, bro. Yeah, blessings, Fresh God. Blessings, bro. Oh, I was muted before. No, well, I'm not sure what happened, but I wasn't muted on my end. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for making it Bomb Sports TV. Oh, when I started, there was okay, all right, cool, Fresh. Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for making it Bomb Sports TV. I trust that you all had a blessed day. On our first live stream, we will be looking at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, and we'll be zoning in on mainly the West Indies and USA, but we'll be looking at the other teams as well. Looking at some of the performances thus far, and giving our predictions as to what we think about what will happen in the Super 8 stage. This is now the business end of the competition, and so a lot of good things, lot of good things are expected. Hopefully, there are no more surprises. I think thus far we've had one associate nation. Yeah, blessings, Marlon. Blessings, bro. Blessings, bro. Yeah, big up, Duke. Yeah, so far we have had one associate nation who has qualified to the Super 8 stage. By and large, the full member nations have done what was expected. Big up, Kevin. By and large, the full member nations have done, what most people would have expected them to do. I think it's good for the region that USA would have qualified for the Super 8s as well. Being a host nation, a lot of people will be coming out to watch USA. People traveling from the US to the Caribbean, where the Super 8 stages will be taking place and the remainder of the competition. And so I think that's a good thing for cricket. It's always good when one of the host nations, or when the host nation progresses further on in the competition. USA being one of those unknown teams, it spells well for cricket in the USA and stuff. Also, US is one of the most diverse teams in the World Cup as well, having players from all different nationalities: Jamaicans, Canadians, surprisingly, Pakistan, New Zealand, and of course India. It's no surprise that Indians are representing other countries, being one of the largest populations in the world. It's not too difficult to understand why many Indians are spread far and wide. So yeah, Marlon. Yeah, USA qualifying for the Super 8 stage is massive. Yeah, USA qualifying for the Super 8 stage is massive. I think too, the whole evolution of cricket in the USA is gonna improve, and people will start to look at the USA as a viable market for them to play cricket. So in the Super 8 stages, will begin tomorrow, June 19. First game we'll see USA playing South Africa. So for the Super 8s, you have two zones, two groups. Group A consists of India, Afghanistan, Australia, and Bangladesh. while Group B consists of USA, West Indies, England, and South Africa. Uh, some would say it's a bit unfortunate that both host nations are in the same zone, but I think that came down to the way in which they did the seeding from the initial stages, and so that would account for both teams being drawn in the same zone. Um, yeah, Kevin said I think West Indies can win the World Cup. Honestly speaking, yeah. I mean, once it's T20 cricket, West Indies standards could have chance as any team. On their day, the West Indies can be a very destructive team, but sometimes in the past they have proven to be a little bit inconsistent. But I think since Darren Sammy has taken over this team and has started his stint, they have been on a really good path. I think they have won 4 of their last 5 international series, defeating England, South Africa, and India. So, I mean, those are good indicators going into a World Cup. West Indies, of course, being the two-time T20 World Cup champions. A lot of the people who were involved in the World Cup at that stage when West Indies last won, they are involved in this tournament now in some way, shape, or form. You have the likes of Darren Sammy, who's coaching the West Indies, Andre Russell, and Johnson Charles both went to that World Cup and were part of that winning team. They are here now. Dwayne Bravo is the bowling coach for Afghanistan. Karen Pollard is the assistant coach for England. And earlier in the tournament, Phil Simmons was the assistant coach at Papua New Guinea. So the West Indies is very much well represented in this World Cup. And I think they have a lot of good things going on their side as well. Some of the players that you would expect to put up good scores have been doing well. Nicholas Pooran last night now as the highest individual score in this World Cup and his highest overall T20 international score. Last night his half century. He made his 12th T20 international half century. Equal the most sixes struck in this T20 World Cup. And surprisingly, that record is also held by Aaron Jones, captain of Team USA. But yeah, I think, Marlon, I tend to agree with you about West Indies playing in St. Lucia will serve them well. But I think it could go both ways when you look at the whole breakdown of things. I think England has an impressive fast bowling unit, and I think on that pitch number 2, which they'll be playing on in St. Lucia, I think that's going to make things a little bit interesting. Even though West Indies players tend to like when the ball come onto the bat a little bit more, but I think you can't discount Jofra Archer, Mark Wood, and those guys, and Chris Jordan as well, who are very much familiar with the Caribbean conditions. I mean, in the last couple of years, England has been frequent visitors to the Caribbean, and those guys would have been involved. I mean, check back to 2021 when West Indies played England in St. Lucia in a test match. Mark would have had a very impressive spell there, and he's looking really fit and in good form. And I don't think West Indies have any what you would say threatening fast bowlers. I mean, outside of Shamar Joseph, who is not in the team, and I don't think, barring injury, will feature any at all in this World Cup. So yeah, it could make for an interesting encounter. So I think that's one to look out for. So as I said, June 19th, South Africa will go up against USA in Antigua. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. I think that will be um, 7 p.m. Jamaica time. Should be a very interesting encounter. I think South Africa too. A lot of the players that many people would have been looking to since the IPL and previous international series have not set the place alight. I mean, Henry Claassen had one score. David Miller came up good in the first game. So first we can look at Team USA's path to. Well, we can look at South Africa first. South Africa's path to that brought them here. So South Africa opened their World Cup campaign on June 3rd, where they defeated Sri Lanka by 6 wickets. Sri Lanka is one of those teams that I expected would have done a little bit better than they have. And I mean, South Africa came into the World Cup off a 3-0 loss to West Indies. Games were played in Jamaica at Sabina Park, though many would argue that that was not the strongest South African team. But they big up Texicon. Big up Travis. Yeah, but South Africa, that wasn't the strongest South African team. But at the end of the day, once representing the colors. In that game, Sri Lanka was restricted to 77 all out of 19.1 overs, and South Africa got to that target of 16.2 overs. They were 80 for 4, and batters got starts, but nobody really stood out in that game. From a bowling perspective, Henrik Nortje, who is one of the leading wicket takers in this year's World Cup. He has 9 wickets. He took 4 wickets for 7 runs in that game. He's also a fast bowler, and the pitches in the Caribbean now looking as if they're going to be assisting fast bowlers. I think he's someone that could really come to the fore. And so South Africa will be looking to him. Then South Africa defeated Netherlands by 4 wickets in their second game of the tournament. That game, they restricted Netherlands, an associate nation, to 103 from their 20 overs, and they took 18.5 overs and got to 106 for 6. In that game, David Miller was standout. He made 59 from 51 deliveries, and Tristan Stubbs, one of the high flying players from the IPL, made 33 from 37 deliveries. And again, Henrik Nortje took 2 wickets. Othniel Bartman took 4 wickets in that game. He's a relatively new player on the circuit for South Africa. Saw him when they came to Jamaica, played I think 2 games. So far, he's taken 5 wickets in the World Cup. Took 4 of those against Netherlands. Rabada has bowled with good pace, but has not been amongst the wickets, and so that's something that South Africa probably would be hoping they would address. Next, I think South Africa came up against what probably would say one of their biggest tests to date. They played Bangladesh, another team that has qualified for the Super 8s, and in that game, South Africa won by 4 runs. More keenly contested game. South Africa was restricted to 113 for 6. Henry Claassen made 46 and David Miller 29. Those are the 2 most impressive scorers. And then they restricted Bangladesh to 109 for 7. Nortje again took 2 wickets in that game. Maraj, left-arm spinner, took 3 wickets. And Rabada got among the wickets in that game. Rabada got among the wickets in that game. And so South Africa was able to come away with a victory in that game. And in their final group game, they defeated Nepal by 1 run. I really thought that Nepal could have won that game. South Africa batted first and made 115 for 7. Reza Hendricks got 43 and Tristan Stubbs 27. Those are the two notable scores. Nepal is a really good bowling unit, not to be underestimated. And then South Africa restricted Nepal to 114 for 7. Tabriz Shamsi picked up 4 wickets in that match. Narke again took a wicket, and Aiden Makram, the captain, took 1 wicket. Again, Rabada didn't get any wickets, went at 8.5 runs per over, bowled 2 overs for 17 runs. So, South Africa was able to win all of their preliminary round games. I don't think they were one of the teams that were much affected by the weather. But I guess when you're winning, I think winning is a habit, and I think they have developed that habit, and hopefully they can progress. They can progress more going forward in the competition. But I don't know. I think Team USA may have something to say about that. So their opponent, Team USA, started off the World Cup. They played the first match of the campaign. They defeated Canada, their neighbors, by 7 wickets. That was a very good game from Team USA in terms of a batting perspective. Canada made 194 for 5. And Team USA got to 197 for 3 from 17.4 overs. Their captain, Aaron Jones, at that time had the highest individual score in the World Cup. This World Cup made 94 from 40 deliveries, and Andreas Goose made 65. I thought that was some poor bowling by Team Canada, but nonetheless, USA came away with a victory. Aaron Jones smashed 10 sixes in that innings and really set the place, really did set the place alive. And big up Godfrey. Really did set the place alive. Travis. Yeah, Travis, bless up. Big up. Renford Pinnock. Junior. Bless up, bro. West Indies is in a tough Super group. Yeah, Marlon. Yes, they are. We're gonna get to that shortly. And so, Team USA started off the World Cup with a win. Their next game against Pakistan, that game was tied, and Team USA showed grit and won that game in the Super Over. I thought that was a really good performance from them, and really showed that they have what it takes to compete and be amongst the big men in terms of from a cricketing perspective. Canada is an associate nation, so you can't expect anything there. But Pakistan is a full member nation and would have won the T20 World Cup in 2009, if memory serves me right. And so, to defeat Pakistan there, they sent a big signal. Of course, they came up against India. India won by 7 wickets in that game. Team USA was not able to defeat a second Asian member nation, and they qualified as a result of their final game against Ireland being abandoned due to rain. So you could say they benefited from the rain there. For this matchup, I am expecting South Africa to win this game. Team USA, though they have momentum on their side, but I think playing in the US helped them a lot. They were more accustomed to the conditions there. But I think coming to the Caribbean, where the pitch is a little bit more balanced, I think they may struggle a little bit against South Africa, who is a far more experienced team than them as well. and and I expect South Africa to come away with the victory there. Um, so yes, I expect South Africa to come away with a victory there. Question: is it Super 8 or quarterfinals? No, it's a Super 8. It's a Super 8. So two zones of four, and you'll play three games, and the winner, the top two teams in the group, will progress to the semifinals. Um, yeah, pin up. So that's it. No quarterfinals. I think there's a new format that is being used now. So yeah, it's more like a round robin. It's more like a round robin. So the top two teams will progress to the semifinals, and then the winners of both semifinals will go on to the finals, which will be played on June 29th in Bridgetown, Barbados, at the Kensington Oval. Check. Big up Richard Royal. Respect, bro. Issa Allen. Respect. Travis. The experience. The experience in Nepal chase against South Africa. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that, Pino. But I just thought that Nepal is more of a better bowling team than they are a batting team. I think South Africa, yeah, their experience tell on the day, but I think those low scoring games are always tricky and can go either way. So not gonna be too critical. Whereas South Africa hasn't gotten it right with their batting. Their bowling has been really good. Shamsi Rabat and Narkia has been excellent. South Africa. Yeah. I think people are a little bit they were a little bit spoiling the IPL where batsmen were just smashing balls all over the park. But I think in international tournaments it's a little bit more little bit more complex than that. And I think overall, um, I think the pitches and I guess the skill of the bowlers have really come to the fore. And so I mean, in this World Cup we have only had two scores over 200. West Indies being one of them last night against Afghanistan on the St. Lucia pitch, and before that, that score was scored at the same venue with Australia. Um, I think, yeah. So yeah, it's not one of those World Cups where you see um, balls flying to the boundary on a regular basis. So I think this is good for cricket too, where the bowlers get to have a say in the game. Yeah, I think that's a good thing as well. Next up on June 20, you have England playing against the West Indies. Um, this match is going to be a very, very crucial match in deciding which two teams progress from this zone. I think on both teams, some of the players, especially the batters, have not really come to the fore. Saw Nicholas Pooran last night for the West Indies, really looking in good form. Batting at number three, which I think is where he should be batting. Um, I think he looked really good last night, and took some time. I mean, in the middle of the innings to really pace himself, um, and also achieved some records as well. Struck the fourth over for 36 runs. I think that's the highest. That's the most runs being scored off a single over in the power play at a T20 World Cup. He also surpassed Chris Gayle last night for the West Indies, having the most sixes in the T20 international game. Um, He also went past 2,000 runs in in T20 internationals. Um, and he's now the leading run scorer for the West Indies in T20 internationals, followed by Chris Gale. Surprisingly, all the players who are behind him are retired players. Chris Gale, Marlon Samuels, Lendell Simmons, Kieran Pollard, those players are all retired. Um, and so he's one of the players that West Indies will be looking to if they are to progress. Captain Ravman Powell has also had a record. He scored 500 runs since becoming captain of the West Indies T20 team. And also what was good for West Indies last night too is you have players that were out and the players that came in did really well. We saw Obed McCoy taking 3 wickets and doing well, replacing Ramara Shepherd, who went back to Guyana for the birth of his son. Um, and you also saw Shea Hope, who came in at number 4, played a brisk innings, 25 from about 17 deliveries. He replaced Ruston Chase. So Johnson Charles got a score last night. He has been found wanting. In the last couple of innings he has played, Brandon King didn't get going last night. But I do believe, and of course Akil Hussain was consistent with the ball. Same for Budakesh Moti. But I think England and West Indies match are always keenly contested games, and sometimes things that happen in the past doesn't really have much input on those results. Big up Demo, big up, bro. And so it's not easy to call. I think the rain is affecting the tournament big time. Yeah, I think the rain affected some games. I thought that game between Scotland and England that was rained out. I don't know, for some reason I thought Scotland was well on their way to defeating England in that game, but the rain came, and as a result, Scotland didn't get to qualify. I really thought that they would have won that game. Big up Germany. I really thought they would have been able to win that game. But that's how it goes sometimes. It's one of those things that you have to factor in whenever you are playing games. The rain and the weather being one of those factors. But hopefully there'll be no rain in this encounter between between um, between England and the West Indies. But I think the team is expected to go to minute 2. Yeah, except for Team USA, I before the World Cup start, I would have felt that Pakistan would have made it through. But I mean, Pakistan has been one of the most inconsistent teams in international cricket. They can be very good one day and be very poor another day. So I wouldn't say I was a bit too surprised, but I felt before the start of the World Cup, yeah, they are one of the teams that I thought um, would have made it to the next round. I really did think that they would have made it to the next round, but they didn't, and that's quite unfortunate. But let's see, let's see, let's see what let's see what the future holds. Let's see what the future holds. Hopefully there'll be no rain in that game, and we can have um, a good game of cricket without interruptions. Hopefully we can have that. Um, yeah, yeah. Mr. United, yeah man, me sort it out, bro. Sort it out. Yeah, big up, unseen, big up, bro, big up, unseen people. Go over and subscribe to Unseen Sports. Yeah, big up Unseen, bro. Much respect, bro. Johnson. um, Yeah, unseen. Yeah, Johnson Charles is one of those players that you can't really bank on, but he is also one of those players where um, he's also one of those players where um, on his day can be really, 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 really devastating. So yeah, can be really, really devastating. But like I said, that's going to be a keenly contested game. Of course, I'm expecting West Indies to win that game. However, if I'm expecting them to lose a game, it would be the game against England. Because, like I said, over the years, those games have been keenly contested games. I mean, the last time West Indies won the T20 World Cup, they defeated England. Um, some of those players from that team are still here now. Butler, Rashid, Moin, Ali. Those players are still here now and we want to have something to say about that. So I'm expecting if West Indies are to lose a game, I expect it to be against England, but I do expect them to qualify for the semi-finals. Same day on June 20th, Afghanistan will take on India. India came into this World Cup as one of the favorites. Afghanistan, though are not a powerhouse in terms of cricket, T20 cricket, but they have some players at the T20 level who are dominant and can prove to be very big match winners, for want of a better term. Um, Afghanistan team. Um, so that's a team that many people should look out for. Issa Ali, what do you think about this? Senior Super 8 and top big group. I think it's a new format in which ICC came in with, where the teams were seeded originally before the competition started. So what they did is they had 5 groups of 4, um, 5 groups of 4, I think, and the teams were seeded there already. So, for example, in Pakistan and India's group, let's say India would have been seeded 1 and seeded 2, and USA seeded 2. Sorry, Pakistan seeded 2. What happens is, because India qualified regardless of if they finish top or first or second, whatever seeding they had originally going into, originally that seeding they will carry, that will place them in the Super 8. And then because Pakistan didn't progress, then and USA did, regardless of where USA finished in the group, once they progress, they would automatically get the seeding that Pakistan had. So I don't know if I quite like that whole idea, but that's the way in which it was designed. That's the format in which ICC have installed, and yeah, who knows? Let's see how it will go. Travis said, Travis said, "Hey, Johnson Charles." Yeah, Unseen look like him not to work with Johnson Charles, you know. Uh, yeah, big up, Drew Ross, big up, bro. Blessings. Thanks for passing through. Um, so yeah, yeah. So that's what I think about that game. Next on June 21, you have Australia versus Bangladesh. I expect Australia to win that game. Bangladesh have, not played the best of crickets, but Australia seem to be in really, really good form. They have and the leading wicket taker so far and the leading run scorer in the T20 World Cup both play for Afghanistan. Ramadullah Gurbaz is the leading run scorer at this point, and leading wicket taker is the Afghanistan fast bowler by the name of Faruqi. He's got 12 wickets, and all the other players below him have 9 who are in the top 5. Akil Hussain, Adam Zampa, Anrik Norkia, all those bowlers have 9 wickets. So he's leading the pack there with 12. and Gerbaz is leading the run scoring chart with 167 runs. Next, you have Nicholas Poor and Marcus Stoinis, Travis Head. Yeah, those make up the top five. So Afghanistan should not be taken lightly, but I think India have enough within them to get the better of Afghanistan. Equally, I think Australia have enough in them to get ahead of Bangladesh. Next, June 21, you have England versus South Africa. That's going to be a keenly contested game. But, in St. Lucia, I expect England to come away with that win. Next, June 22, USA versus West Indies in Barbados. I can tell you, you're going to have a packed house for that game. A lot of Bayesian players are in the West Indies team. And Team USA's captain, Aaron Jones, is from Barbados. And so I know that, the crowd is going to come out and look to support him. Jeremy Lee says Charles should not be given too much life. He's very inconsistent. Shea Hope should have been given instead. I hear you, Jeremy Lee, but I think Shea Hope has been more prolific in ODI cricket than he's been in T20 cricket. And in the last couple of series, Johnson Charles have done well in terms of putting scores on the board, especially leading up to the World Cup. Many persons were debating whether or not he should have been selected ahead of Kyle Myers. But the team is doing well, and he came up with a score in the last game. So, not too much to complain about. I think if he failed in that game against Afghanistan, he would not have made it. He would not have played in the Super 8s. But he's given them a score. I mean, I even saw a quote where the captain, Rahman Paul, was saying it's his time now to come to the party and light up St. Lucia, so you can see that the team have a lot of confidence in him and they back him to come up with scores. And so, yeah. Travis played Headley Cup for Froome Technical. Okay. Travis, I didn't know you went to Froome. I thought you went to Mannings. Okay. Thought you went to Mannings, Travis. Charles edging way to 40 at that brother Yamlika. Yeah, Demo. I heard you already, defending Johnson Charles, But on his day, he can be one of the most destructive openers in world cricket. But the problem is his days doesn't really come too often. So yeah, that's it. Demo says New Zealand never made it through. That's a big upset. Yeah. That's a big upset. I really thought New Zealand would have qualified. I mean, people now are arguing the fact that them not playing any warm-up games or any warm-up series leading up to the T20 World Cup is one of the reasons that's affecting them. I saw somewhere where Trent Bolt says he'll be retiring from T20 internationals. So yeah, that could be a big loss for them. I think Trent Bolt is one of the best new ball bowlers in T20 cricket going around, but I guess more time for him on the franchise circuit. Making it was a surprise. Yeah, Marlon, big surprise. Thought New Zealand would have made it. Demo Shepherd or McCoy? Would you play Shepherd better batsman, McCoy better bowler? A tough one. Sammy Bram Sports. Travis. Yeah, I'm going to come back to that, Travis. Let me just run through these fixtures. So Barbados in Barbados, USA versus West Indies. I'm picking West Indies to win that game. Bangladesh and India, June 22 in Antigua. Think India will defeat Bangladesh. Afghanistan and Australia. I think Australia is going to play a bad game, and I think that bad game is going to come against Afghanistan. And I think if Afghanistan get their ducks in a row, they could spring an upset on Team Australia. England versus USA, I expect Team USA to lose that game in Barbados. Joffrey Archer, Chris Jordan, and those folks Mark would have a lot to say about that. But I expect England to defeat Team USA. West Indies versus South Africa. I expect West Indies to win that game. Like I said, the only game I expect the West Indies to lose is that game against England. I do expect West Indies to come away victorious against South Africa, India, and Australia. So this is going to be tricky now because I think that game. All right, let me skip that game for now and go to the final game of the Super 8 stage. Afghanistan will play Bangladesh, and I expect Afghanistan to win that game. However, back to Australia and India, I don't know. I feel as if I really do think that India is going to win that game, and it should make for an interesting second qualifier from Group A, because I expect India to win all 3 games, and I expect Afghanistan to beat Bangladesh, but I also expect Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan will beat Australia and qualify for the semifinals. It's a bit tough. It's a stretch, but I don't know. I think the bowling of Afghanistan really is gonna come to the fore, and I think if Afghanistan bowling do come to the fore, I think they can do well enough to restrict Australia, and I think in that Afghanistan top order, they could do enough to get the better of Australia. I mean, on paper, you would expect Australia to qualify with India, but I wouldn't be surprised if India and Afghanistan make it through. And from the West Indies group, I'm expecting West Indies and England to qualify from that group. So, Travis, back to your comment now. I think it's a little bit of a tricky situation because if the West Indies, the thing is, I don't know, but I think some way they're gonna bring Chase back in the team. And the reason why I say that, I think because the pitch in St. Lucia for that England game it seems to be a very good batting pitch. I think West Indies would opt to play an all-rounder that can bowl ahead of a pure batsman. And so I think Chase is going to come back in the team at the expense of Hope. Or at a worst case, he'll come back in the team at the expense of King, and Hope is going to open the Charles. Reason being, and based on how the pitch is playing, I think the batting depth that the West Indies have going all the way down to Azari Joseph, if required, they could come and give you a score on that pitch. And so it would make more sense to play an extra bowler or have an extra bowling option as opposed to having a batsman. As it relates to Shepherd and McCoy, again, based on the batting depth of the West Indies team, even though Shepherd makes up a part of that depth, based on the pitch, I think it would be a better option to go with McCoy instead of Shepherd. But and that's the thing sometimes when you're in tournaments and you rest a player or a player is unavailable for a game and another player comes in and plays, it's always going to be difficult to justify dropping out one of them or bringing back the player in place of a player who played and did well. So I think that's gonna be a trick. Germany says so, Brian. Last night was just what we needed. Patience, 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 patience. On top of this, right? Yeah, I think Puran paces innings really well. I think Puran really paces innings well. It's a bit unfortunate that he got run out there. Trying to come back and strike. But I think he really paces innings well, and those are the sort of innings that we are looking for to see him perform for West Indies, similar to what he does in franchise cricket. I mean, he's on good form. Scored over 400 runs in the IPL recently, even though his team didn't qualify to the playoff. So yeah, I think he's one of them that's heavily dependent on for the West Indies to do well. Demo say on that pitch I'm playing Shepherd. Um, Demo, I think the only thing that would go in Shepherd's favor too is that he has a very good record against England. He's always done well against England from a bowling perspective. But I don't know. I think the left arm pace of McCoy adds something different, to the whole dimension, and you probably would want to have him there ahead. It did. No, what easy though. Perez destructive when he gets good start. But yeah. More often than not, once Puran is in, he's gonna score runs. Um, Brian, I would not start Charles. Hope will get the nod instead. That's a brave thing, Jeremy Lee. Johnson Charles is playing at home now. He actually has a stand name of him. That's a brave thing. I don't know. I think experience in the IPL has really helped Shea Hope a lot. But I don't think the coach will go for Hope instead of Charles. I think it's more like if I'm to go for Hope instead of King. But I don't see Charles not playing. I'm saying play Edley Cup. Right, I know you're not talking cricket about me, Yo, Mr. United, my boss. Now, now trouble that Yeah, but not trouble that my boss. Afghanistan bowlers really good. Yeah. Marlon, yep. Rashid Khan in the top 5 T20 international bowlers. Oh, and let's I forget. What's his name? Gudakesh Moti. Gudakesh Moti was voted the ICC Men's Player of the Year of the month for me because of his standard bowling performance. So yeah, Gudakesh Moti there. I don't like this seeding format. Yeah, I think I heard some people complaining about it on another podcast, but I don't know. I think this is something new that ICC is trying out. So hopefully, based on the reviews at the end of the tournament, then we will see how it goes. But I think they're probably trying something there. Brian, Afghanistan spinners are world class, and it's good to see our players adapting well and spin. Yeah. Afghanistan spinners. I think they had an injury to a spinner, Rahman. He played in the CPL for Talawas a couple years ago. But I think the approach that Puran took, on that day when it works, it's really good. But on the next day, it could be really bad. I think he was hell bent on ensuring that the spinners didn't get a chance to settle, and was willing to attack from ball one. But I think that approach works well. I think that approach is better aided when both teams are not playing for anything. And I think last night game was just one of academic interest, and so you have a little bit more freedom to go there and play like that. But I don't know if that same approach would be taken when you're playing like a Super 8 game or a semi-final or a final. So kudos to him and his efforts he worked last night. Yo. Big up Mr. United. People, I have something that I want to share with you guys. See? I have something I want to share with you guys. People, I came across this video. Tell me one thing. People, tell me what you think about that video. Yeah. People, tell me what you think about that video there. Tell me what you think about that video there. Yeah. Yeah, that was really fun. I was doing some research today and I came across that. Um, let's see. Let me go to some comments now. I can't wait for Mr. United. Follow up that, you know. Follow up that time, boss. I'm batting from poor and from ball one. Yeah. West Indies, that's the highest most runs scored in a power play in a T20 World Cup, 92 runs, for one wicket, I think from there on, it was downhill for Afghanistan. They were not going to recover from that. Bangladesh, please say no more. Travis, I don't like Australia, Travis. Yo, Mr. United. Love that alone, my boss. Man, so when Jamaica make it World Cup, couldn't believe. Mr. Allen, who asked that? Who asked that, Mr. Allen? Mr. Allen, how him? No, Travis, I thought he went to Mannings. He said he went to Froome earlier, but I thought you went to Mannings, Travis. Mr. United in the easy, Philip Earnford, Johnson Charles nickname is Pakistan is as good as. Yeah. I would tend to agree with that. But people, I have a question. But before I get to the question, so West Indies have moved up in the T20 international rankings. They are now ranked They are now ranked third in the world based on the last ICC rankings. I think when Darren Sammy took over this team and they appointed Rodman Powell the captain, West Indies was ranked ninth. So between that time to now, they would have moved 6 places up the rankings, and now they are third. So tell me what you think about that, Brian. Australia will go through from me. Yeah, Kevin. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. Something tells me that Afghanistan is gonna have something to say about that, and I expect them to. I expect them to progress. I really do expect them to progress. So congrats to the West Indies team on being ranked third in T20 international cricket. And yeah. So yeah, the question is, Yeah, man. Big up, Grimy. Big up, bro. So the question is, will Darren Sammy become the first person to win the T20 World Cup as both player and coach? Tell me what you think about that. Also, we have gone 56 minutes in this video. So people, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Share with your friends and your family members. Help the movement to grow. Big up to 128 persons who have subscribed to the channel thus far. Really do appreciate it. So yeah, tell me what you think. You think Darren Sammy will be the first person to win the T20 International World Cup as a player and a coach? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think regarding that outcome. I think West Indies have as good a chance as anyone, and I really do hope that they are able to come away with this victory. But if not, I think minimum of making it to the semi-finals would be a decent outcome. But I do hope that they go on to win the World Cup. I think they can. I think this format is the best suited format for the West Indies. So let's hope that they do. So we're almost on the hour mark, and like I said, thanks to everyone who came on and show their support. Issa Allen, Jeremy, Mr. United, Kevin, Marlon, Renford, Unseen, Travis, Dima. Big up, bro. Thanks for your support. So, like I said, Super 8 stage of the T20 World Cup kicks off tomorrow with Team USA versus South Africa. Group A, India, Afghanistan, Australia, and Bangladesh. I expect Afghanistan and India to qualify from that zone. Group B, Team USA, West Indies, both host nations, England and South Africa. I expect England and the West Indies to qualify. I expect West Indies, if they are to lose a game in the Super 8s, it will be that game against England. And that will really set the tone for what's to come. So, yeah, I would really hope that the West Indies can go all the way and win that game. I would that would do well for the people of the Caribbean, and for Coach Darren Sammy. Many persons would have had a lot to say when he took over the job as coach, and about his qualifications and his ability to coach at international level. Not having the experience, but you have seen his worth and his work, and I think it's a testament to his effort that he has put into making this team into a championship team, and the players have really bought into what he's about. And yeah, kudos to West Indies. So yeah, we're on the hour mark now. So thanks again for those persons who came and really gave me the support on this first live stream. Looking forward for bigger and better things. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, and turn on the post notification so that whenever we go live again, you will be notified. So until next time, this is Brian. Peace and love, and thanks for being here. And we'll end with another view of this magnificent video.